good time to hang out in the book nook, don't you think, Brent?
It's an excellent time to hang out in the book nook. And
Every
time is a good time to hang out in the book nook.
I agree. Today, you always have great stuff to tell us about. And I know this is just a little amount of really what comes out each week. It's fun to be able to touch on the highlights, though.
I appreciate you giving me the time to talk about them, but if I had to bring everything, we'd be here for 30 minutes. There's just that much stuff that comes out every week. It's amazing.
It is
so I have
amazing.
to kind of pick and choose what I think will work best for the show and what people will be most interested in.
And you do a great job at that. Thank you. And I think we're starting today with some Johnny Lang music.
Johnny Lang is a good-looking young guy who plays a mean blues guitar, really good singer, a really, really cool guy. I've been a fan of his for a few years now, and anytime he has a new album out, it's just a really great thing to check out. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Blues Brothers 2000, which was the sequel to the Blues Brothers.
I saw part of it,
If you go into a certain scene, there's a scene where some young kid sweeping the floor just starts singing, and it's Johnny Lang. And that was a bit of exposure for him for a lot of people who had not heard him before. But people who love rhythm and blues have known about this guy for a while.
That's pretty cool, and it looks like he probably has a good career ahead of him. Then he got started, you know, and kind of got underneath there.
Yeah, he's
pretty
a good
cool.
guy. Very cool.
And the next one we have Goldfrapp.
Goldfrapp is a really interesting band, sort of electronic, sort of hip hop, sort of pop. A lot of their music is really, really smooth and really, really cool. Every once in a while, one of their songs will pop up on a soundtrack, sometimes remixed during club scenes and whatnot. So their music lends itself really well for remixing.
Okay.
And they're just one of this kind of an eccentric, kind of quirky group, and I've been a fan of theirs again for a while. They haven't really made it super huge, but I think they have the potential to. They're just a consistently good group.
So more upbeat type music, not chill?
No, they're more chill actually than upbeat.
Okay.
People can remix them more upbeat, but they're always a little more medium tempo or chill. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Good. It's always good to be able to have a good album for that, especially in our busy times. And then Earth, Wind, and Fire. I mean, you know who this is.
Yeah, see, Earth, Wind, and Fire, I thought it was going to be another like greatest hits album or maybe a concert or something. This is actually a new album for them with new material for the first time in a long time.
That's cool.
And they're still really super fun and talented, and it's just good times music. I mean, I would love to just see these guys live again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Now, if you could check on YouTube every once in a while, you can catch live clips of them performing with Chicago, the band Chicago, and sometimes they'll join forces on stage and do like a Chicago song. Earth, when you combine all those players together on one stage, it's a lot of fun.
Pretty entertaining there. Then the next one we have?
This is Elvis Costello with The Roots, the group The Roots, joining forces together and doing some really interesting pop and rock. He's always been Elvis has always been a very good innovator when it comes to performing with other people, doing duets and collaborations and things. And The Roots are really one of the more talented groups out there as far as this being this really both talented, both rhythmic, both melodic, lyrical, just all of that.
It's pretty cool to be able to have someone that has that good ear or sound for picking up and doing a duet with someone.
And you're also talking kind of a generational thing because you have a more current group with Costello, who really at this point is considered a classic rock musician, even though he was considered, you know, new wave back in the late 70s or whatnot, or some even called him punk rock when he first came out. And so when you get these people from different generations together and collaborating, I think it's always very interesting.
Yeah, that is pretty cool there. And moving on to our books, starting down here.
Mr. Nicholas Sparks is, of course, one of the most famous romance writers out right now. A best-selling author. Lots of movies are made from his books. This one, The Longest Ride, is kind of interesting because you have really two stories going on. You have, of course, your young people falling in love for the first time kind of thing. It's a kind of a classic. Then you also have a story about a gentleman in his 90s who crashes his truck into like a snowdrift, and he's going in and out of consciousness, and a vision of his late wife comes to him. And to help him stay alive, she's like, let's go through our, is it basically revisiting their life, basically to help him stay alive until he's rescued. And I go, that's a really interesting idea in itself, but to put them both stories together, kind of going back and forth and coming together.
Okay.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, pretty interesting there. And the next one?
Richard Castle. I don't know if you're a fan of the TV show Castle on ABC.
I've heard a lot about it.
Okay.
You know, I have seen some of it, and I liked what I saw.
The concept of the books is that the actor, of course, is Nathan Fillion, who plays the character of Richard Castle on the show. He's a crime writer who teams up with a detective to get research for books. He ends up helping solve crimes. Well, these are the books he actually is writing on the show. So whenever there is a new book signing, they come out with a new book on the show. So it's almost like a souvenir from the show, but it's an actual crime novel about a journalist teaming up with a detective to solve crimes.
That's pretty cool.
It's fun.
I like that, even from just a little bit of knowing.
The current Michael Vey book is the latest in the series about kids who have sort of the power of electricity, almost like superheroes, and they're being exploited by, of course, evil corporate people and whatnot, and they're trying to break away, get free, that sort of thing. So it's the latest in that series. It's considered a teen series, but a lot of adults buy this series as well.
Okay.
And then Frozen is the first in a new series, also for teens. It's sort of like, what if the Ice Age came back again and Las Vegas is like totally frozen? Now, Vegas is still alive. People are still wanting to go and gamble and stuff.
What?
It's just people are just used now to this new frozen world. And this young lady hears this legend about a place where you go where the sun still shines and the water runs blue. So it's kind of almost a fantasy in a way.
She's kind of going on search maybe for that.
Perhaps she will go looking for. So this is going to be the beginning of a new series. This is considered book 1 of the Heart of Dread series.
Okay, pretty neat. And we can get all of these
and more at Barnes & Noble.
What's your pick for this week?
Oh my gosh, I got to go Richard Castle. But you know what? This Frozen thing has me intrigued too.
That is pretty intriguing. I like the Nicholas Sparks too, but I might have to share that with you. And Earth, Wind, and Fire. What do you think?
I say Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay,
yeah, we turn on at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Share stories about it. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.